Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I want to thank everyone for their kind comments and just, crafting with me and things like that. It's so fun. I love it to hear that when you say you're crafting and you have me on when you're crafting, and so I feel like we're crafting together. Anyway, I'm developing a little project here, my design team project for Shabby Dabby Doodah for September. And I usually start and try to have my design team projects done by the first of the month that they're due, instead of, I don't have to have them done by the first, but that's just kind of like what I like to do. So these are the papers that I used for my last project, but what I did was get like 5 or 6 of Tina's kits and use them for my last project. So I didn't feel like I wanted to get another kit. I kind of had all of this left from 6 kits. You have a lot of paper to use, right? So I wanted to, I don't want to waste it. I want it sitting around and in storage. And I thought it would be fun to create a different journal out of the same papers. So the last one was a book. I made it out of a book. And it was the one with it's had the roses, out of this type of paper, roses and birds and birdhouses. And I had the doily on the front with a little doily rose in the middle. And so that one came out really, really beautiful. And so this time I thought, wouldn't it be fun to use the same papers and create a different journal, so that if someone's not used to using digital kits, you can see, you can create different types of journals from digital kits. So I've been kind of putting things into, I was storing it in this little plastic kind of envelope here. You get these from Dollar Tree. I stored everything in there since my last journal that I did with this, which was not August but July. So had a month in between. I do her design team projects, Tina's, and a couple of my design team projects. I do them every other month. So that's what, that's what I do. That's what they want. So I put this upholstery fabric in there, and I want to kind of use that for the cover, but I want it to be about the size of this page right here. So I want to cut out a cover, and I'm going to use file folder, and this is going to be a single signature journal. The book that I made for the last design team project was, I believe, 3 signatures. So for my cover, I would want it a little bit bigger than this page right here. So I'm just holding this up against, and I was just doing this, and I thought, maybe I'll just turn the camera on in case somebody's new to journaling or they just want to craft with me, which I love. So I'm going to make it a little bit, tiny bit, not too much bigger than this page, because I like the pages to be, I don't like the pages to be right up against the bottom or right up against the top or the side. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit here, and then I'm going to do the same up here and the same over here, maybe a little bit more than this over here. So I have room for my pages. You know how when you stack them, they start protruding out. In fact, I think I will just grab my paper cutter so I can get nice straight lines instead of trying to use my scissors. I've got my big paper cutter right here. So let's just kind of measure by using this page as a format. I think this is the biggest page that I would, the biggest pages are this size. So I'm going to, it's probably about, I'm going to say 1/4 of an inch or a little bit less that I'm going to cut here. I'm going to cut this cut first, and then go from there. Let's see if my paper cutter's cutting anything. There we go. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. Did it cut? Not quite. One more time. There we go. Okay. So, and I've got my bottom already, so now I just have to cut my top, and that's just going to be a little bit Actually, let me move this down a little bit because I think I have this a little bit high right here. So just a little, kind of almost like 1/8 of an inch on the bottom, maybe a little bit more, and the same at the top. So about right there, I would say. Okay, so it's just a piece of file folder, and I'm going to first cover with, and I'm going to be doing some sewing on this, but I just want to get it going because I have been working on other things, other projects and fun stuff, and I'm like, I need to make a journal. Having journal withdrawal here. It's been about a week since I worked on a journal, and I can't take it anymore. So I was like, which one should I work on? Because I'm working on that Christmas one, but I do have 2 design team projects coming up, so I figured let's go ahead, because there's no rush on the Christmas one. Let's go ahead and do this one. So this is how I thought I would do it. I kind of moved this upholstery around so I could see how I'd want to put it on here, which side I wanted to be the front, things like that. And I came up with this look right here. And then I had put this postcard. This is an old postcard. I'm not sure what year it's from, but it's very pretty. And I had put, like I said, as I saw things that might go with these papers, I put them in my envelope over the last month or so. So this is one of the things I put in there. It's a beautiful postcard, old postcard. I don't think I would cut it down at all. I mean, it's the original, actual postcard. You know, it's not a copy or anything. So I thought this would look beautiful on the cover. I mean, it's just like it was meant to me. It looks like it was meant to be there, even though I hate to cover up anything. It just, you know, I wanted a centerpiece, and this I think would be beautiful if I could sew it down. Now I can think about, you know, I like it. It's kind of got a border here, so it kind of makes it like almost gives it a layered look. See, can you see that? There's like a frame here, light yellowish green, and then there's like a beige frame around that. So it's almost like it's already layered, and I don't need another layer, to me anyway. And that beige layer kind of blends in with this beige on this fabric, and it just really just goes perfectly. So what I would do is, first of all, I would glue this on, and then, well, let me see. So if this is going to be my cover, the fabric with that postcard, I would want to sew the postcard on first, so, and then cover it up here. So I'd be covering up the sewing I do on the postcard. But I need to get this fabric down first. So let's see. I want to cut my corners off a little bit, not too much, but just take a little bit of, you know what, I think I'll glue it first and then take the corners off, because then I can see exactly where this is and what I'm doing. See, that's what I mean about developing the project here. I kind of was just like thinking about what I was going to do and kind of just figuring it out. So this is fabric that I'm gluing onto, and you know, I want glue on here to glue it down flat and keep everything flat, but I am also going to be sewing on here. So I don't need a whole lot of thick glue. Like, I think I can just use art glitter glue and not worry about my Fabri-Tac. I was thinking Fabri-Tac at first, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to sew on here. I just really want to get it down flat and then be able to sew on it. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. See, got to think about these things a little bit. So this is my art glitter glue that I'm using up still, and I'm sure it must be at the bottom. It's got to be at the bottom, so it might not get very much out of here. We'll see. I'm going to put the glue on the folder instead of the fabric here. I think that would work out better, and then we'll have it exactly where we need it. And just a thin layer. I think I'll do this front. This is the front. I'm going to do this piece first before, so that this doesn't dry while I'm trying to do the back cover. I'm going to put this is where the fold is going to be, so I'm going to put extra glue right there, and then get around my edges real good. Okay, again a little bit in the middle. Okay, again I just want to get the fabric down flat. Okay, and make sure I put it down how I had it. So I had it like this. See, I almost turned it around, but I remember I had this pretty flower that I'm going to be covering up. And okay, what I'm going to do is I want to get my folder piece in the center here. So I'm just going to do it like this. Let me see, I've got lines here on my cutting board, or my cutting mat. I can kind of make sure things are straight. I think they are. Then get this down in the middle of this fabric, because this fabric's not cut. You see how it's kind of jagged? I think that's just how I got it. So, try not to move it, and get it down in the middle of this fabric. That's really what I want to do, so that I can fold this over. Okay, and we just glued the front. Make sure I have it down right. Yep. I did it right. Okay, now, see, now I can fold this over and put some glue here, and then put that fabric on here. So I'm just getting started on this project. I'm going to try to do as much as I can on camera, but some things I can't do on camera unless you want me to move you over to my sewing machine. So it's just easier for me to do little, shorter videos and just show you my progress and process. Okay, I'm going to put some extra right by the fold, the edges, corners, and let me see. Kind of hard to see in this light where exactly the glue is. I think I'm seeing it good though when I tilt it up like this. It's nighttime, so I hope my light's okay. I didn't turn on my extra light. I'm just kind of chilling and crafting here. So I'm going to put my lid on there so what I have left doesn't dry up. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this back over here and press it down on my fabric. See, the other one I did paper. I think it was paper, and then the doilies, the two doilies, and it's really, really pretty. I just wanted to kind of like, wouldn't it be cool to do a totally different kind of journal with the same paper, so you all can see, and a different style with fabric, You can see there's so many different ways to use a digital kit, right? And I do all kinds of stuff. I do digital kits. I do, sometimes I don't use a digital kit. I just use all original books and ephemera and stuff like that. So my dryer is just finishing. So if you hear beeping, that's my dryer telling me it's done. So if you hear it again, I think it's going to beep every 5 minutes, something like that. So if you hear beeping, that is what's beeping. That's what's calling me. Okay, so there we go. Now I can cut my corners. See, I can move this around and not have a problem. And I don't want to go right up to my edge, because if I do that, then my folder will show. So I'm just going to go a little bit out from my edge, cut the corners off so I don't have that bulk. And I might be cutting more off. I just want to get started with these this way. So I hope everybody had a great day. I just kind of dove right in here, didn't I? Didn't even say how are you or anything, probably. But I had a good day. Today is, I don't know when this will be posted, but today is a work day for me, but I got to stay home. Let's see, how does this go? Like this. I got to stay home because I had a dentist appointment, and I had some work done that required me to be knocked out at the oral surgeon. Not fun, but I had no pain. I came home and had a great day off. I went thrifting, and you know, I think I went out thrifting before my mouth was even you know, back to normal. Like, it was still numb when I left, but I figured I had a mask on so no one could see me, right? What advantage of wearing a mask? If your mouth is numb from the dentist, nobody can tell unless you try to talk to them. So anyway, so then I had a good day thrifting, came home and did a little crafting and stuff like that. So now it's nighttime and chilling and crafting. So let's see, what do I want to do next? I think I'm going to see how I want to do this next. And really, I don't have to glue it down unless I want to, because I can just take it over to my sewing machine and sew this down. But I kind of want to, okay, so I've already figured out that I'm pretty sure I want this on the front. And if I zigzag around here, or I can stitch right inside, like see this brown line? I can stitch right on there, and that would be cool too. I think that might be what I do, because once that is stitched down, say right here, let me see what it would be like. See, it would be pretty down, and I don't feel like it would feel like this was loose or anything, you know. So, and I think brown thread would go really good with this cover and the card here. The back will be beautiful just like that. And then, so inside, I'd like to figure that out. Like, I want to, like I said, sew the fabric down, but do I want the fabric over what I have here? Or do I want what I have here over the fabric? So the next thing I would do is look through my papers. Here's another postcard. Let me see what this one would look like. Make sure. See, that one doesn't have the same effect at all, even though it would be beautiful. This one has the flowers, and it just goes so well. I mean, look at the pink, and the pink is the same color. So this one, I don't know, this will be something else in here. But anyway, back to the inside of the cover. Let's see. So it doesn't have to be any certain thing, but say this, just say this was the inside of the cover. So this is what it would look like. I put this down, say I glue this down. So do I want the fabric over this? Or do I want this over the fabric? Oh, I think I definitely want this over the fabric. That gives it a more finished look. Okay, so what I would do is go and sew my postcard on first, and then I would glue this down. No, I would glue this down or sew this down. What I can do is glue this down a little bit and then go and sew it all at one time together. Not sew this and then sew this, you know what I mean? So I just have one line of sewing all the way around to get everything sewn down. Yes. Okay, so I will need to glue this down a little bit. So let's see, I think I might have time to do that before we get too far into this video. So let's see. To get this where it's being held down, I think I'm going to use a little Fabri-Tac on this. Just the art glitter glue would probably hold it, but like I want it to glue down quick, just with one line of glue, just to hold it down until I get to sew it, and let that Fabri-Tac will dry really quick. And I have never had any trouble as far as getting my sewing machine to, you know, it'll be dry before I sew on it because it dries so quickly, and I won't have to worry about it clogging up my sewing machine. And I can actually, let's see, I'll be sewing right probably on the edge here for the fabric part of it. So I can actually glue a little bit away from the edge so that I don't again, another way of keeping it from my sewing machine from going through. So in order to get the glue in the right spot, I'm going to glue on the fabric instead of here. So look like, because I'd have to be like, oh, where is it going to go? But if I put it right here in the fabric, I know exactly where I need to put it, right? So does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, so you get the general idea of what I'm doing here. I don't think you need to watch me glue everything down, do you? I don't think so. Maybe I'll just glue this part down so you can see how I'm folding it over. And I can, with this I always kind of like experiment a little bit, like just see how it folds over. And if it folds over nice, see how it is folding over nicely right here. So I'm just going to put another line of glue right here on this top edge so that I don't get to glue on where I'm going to be sewing. Not that if you got glue on there it would, you know, be anything wrong with that, but you know, the less likely you're going to have less glue right where you're going to sew, the better probably. Let's get a little bit more right on this corner. Okay, so we get a nice fold here. And pull that down tight. See, I didn't trim that off or anything, but it's going to be covered up, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. I wanted that much to fold over anyway. So I'd have a nice fold and have plenty for my paper to go over. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing over here and do what I told you. And I'll be back with another video. So I hope you enjoyed the beginnings of this project. And I think it's going to be really cool. So see you next time and happy crafting. Thanks.